Dulce, who's Dr. Dulce? Tell me a little bit about Dr. Dulce.
Well, Dr. Dulce, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I'm a dentist.
Well, there you go. Perfect balance. So, if you're not able to get veneers, Emax veneers, because you're not a candidate, would I be able to do Emax crowns?
Sure.
So, what's the big difference between an Emax crown and a zirconia crown? Zirconia crowns versus metal porcelain. What do you think is better, zirconia or metal porcelain?
Zirconium.
Zirconia looks very nice.
For sure, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with zirconia. Zirconia looks beautiful. But when you put zirconia next to Emax,
Emax.
And a lot of patients come in thinking they need all on 4 and 6s, and then we save them with the full mouth restoration. But we want to pave the way here in algodones to something different. We want to pave the way to veneers, because if veneers are done right with the correct technology, they could be in your mouth for a very long time. But you still got to take care of them. There's still things you cannot do.
Please, when you come to the office, try to spend an extra day. Okay, try to do the mock-up design. With the mock-up design, you can see on your mold how the veneers or the crown they're going to look.
Welcome back to Supreme Dental Podcast Studio. You can be anywhere else in the world right now, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember, this podcast was meant for you, our patients. My wife and I are the owners of Supreme Dental Clinic. And listen, we're actually an Apple podcast, and we are on Spotify. So you can listen to your favorite episodes, or if you have questions of anything, we're here to help. And today we have Dr. Dulce. How you doing, Dr. Dulce?
Hi, I'm doing good.
She's a little nervous. This is her first podcast. And we have a lot of questions. We're going to be talking about cosmetic work, because that is what we see all the time. I have so many different questions, and these questions have been from patients, have been questions from our patient coordinators. And I want to start it off with Dulce. Who's Dr. Dulce? Tell me a little bit about Dr. Dulce.
Well, Dr. Dulce, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I'm a dentist.
Well, there you go. Perfect balance. So one of the questions that I have is, a lot of times patients go on Instagram. We were talking about this not too long ago. And there's a lot of theories. Oh, I bought this and now my teeth are super perfect. Or, oh, I went to Colombia and I got these teeth. And you look at the cases and you look, and it was not for veneers.
Yeah.
Actually, you told me,
Yeah.
Frank, I would never put veneers on those teeth.
Yes, I know.
So what do you need to get veneers done? What do you see on the patients and say, yes, you can do veneers, or no, you cannot do veneers?
Well, the first that I'm looking, it's the way of the bite.
The way they bite?
Yeah. Then I need almost the teeth straight.
Okay.
And with no decay. I can do with a little bit decay, but not so deep. Okay. And if the patients have crowns before, I cannot remove it and put a veneer.
That's very important. So what you're saying is the teeth have to be straight.
Straight.
They cannot be at an angle.
No, sometimes we can fix, but not like crooked.
Not a lot, not really crooked.
Yeah, not like shifted.
And not shifted. And they can have decay, but not that much.
Not that much.
And if they have had crowns before, they can no longer get veneers.
No.
It has to be another crown.
Correct.
Another thing that I have a big question on is, we see this a lot, composite veneers. Tell me a little bit, because right now everybody talks about composite veneers. What are the pros? What are the good things about composite? And what are the bad things about composite veneers?
Okay, the good things, like, they look pretty.
They
Okay.
look pretty, huh?
but it's not for everyone, like the veneers. They need to be very, very straight, because we just add the composite at your teeth, over your tooth. And but the negative part is that you can break and they stain.
They stain.
Yes.
So composite veneers you could put on someone. They look beautiful when you do them.
Mm-hmm. For a couple of time.
For a couple months.
Yes.
What do you think is the life of a composite veneer?
Well, for example, I have a friend that but she is a dentist, so she take care a lot the composite veneer. She polish every 4 months, every 6 months.
But let's say you're normal. You're a normal patient.
Maybe 1 year.
Maybe 1 year. And they stain.
Yes.
And so they could break easier than an Emax.
Yeah.
Now, when we say Emax, guys, we're talking about in Spanish it's called disilicato de litio. Disilicato de litio, right?
Yes.
In English is lithium disilicate. That is the formula. That's what it is. Emax is it's a brand.
It's the brand.
It's the brand. So, Emax veneers, are Emax veneers stronger than composite veneers?
Sure. Yeah.
How much stronger do you think they are?
Maybe almost like a natural tooth.
Almost like a natural tooth. So when you place on someone Emax veneers and you place them right, what do you think is the life of that veneer?
Well, I have patients that the veneer lasts like between 8 and 10 years.
Oh. Now you have to take care of those veneers, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What do you have to? How do you take care of a veneer?
Just she normally cleaning,
Cleaning, brushing. When you have veneers, what are things you cannot do?
Well, like don't bite an apple, don't bite bones.
Don't buy bone, don't buy apples, okay?
Yeah, wings.
Or don't open like pistachios.
Yeah, don't bite your nails.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you could pop them out, or how does it work?
Yes.
Or you could
You can break the veneer, or they can. It's very hard that the veneer can pop it off.
It's very, okay, yeah, because I seen you take some off and you can't. It's really hard.
Yes, it's so hard.
Why is it so hard? We're talking about right now about veneers, right? We're talking about Emax. We get this a lot. People don't know the difference. A lot of people ask for zirconia veneers.
Well, I don't recommend it. I don't like to do that.
Why?
Because the protocol,
The protocol, huh?
it's different with the zirconium veneers and with the Emax veneers.
Completely different.
Yes.
What's the difference?
Well, with the Emax, the bonding process is different because it's with chemics.
Chemicals?
Yeah, I do 2 different processes over the veneer and over the tooth. So I do like 4 different processes to bond in a veneer.
Okay.
Emax veneer. And with the zirconium, they put just the glue or the cement over the zirconium and then the sticky over your tooth. That's it.
So it's very important. You told me, and I just learned this not too long ago. You taught it. You had a master class here. If you want to go ahead, and George, if you wake up, we want to put the master class that we'll put a little video when we had our agents from different parts of the United States and Mexico come in, and Dr. Dulce hosted a master class and talked about the bonding and in the process of an Emax veneer and an Emax crown. So, for example, an Emax veneer, it's a process. It's not like, oh, I'm going to shave down a little bit and I'm going to slap you in and you're ready to go.
It's a long process.
It's a long process. It's a lot longer than a zirconia crown.
Yeah, very long.
Can you walk me through a little bit of the process of what do you do? So let's say you're putting veneers on me. You bring down my tooth, and now we have the veneer right here, and I liked it. What's the process?
To bonding the veneer?
To bond the veneer, yes.
Okay, after the shape and everything, I disinfected the veneer.
Okay.
And tested over you. And I checked that the veneer is sealing properly and it defeats properly. And after that, I disinfected again. I put like one acid over the veneer. I clean it again. I dry, and after that I put other type of acid on the veneer.
Adhesive, uh-huh.
Yeah, that's it. And then I dry it again and disinfect it again and dry it again.
And then you put it on my mouth.
No. After that, I disinfected your mouth. I put acid over your tooth. Then I rinse. And then I dry. And I put like bonding. It's like a bonding 2 types. I put the light the 2 times. And then the glue, the cemented.
So all that's for one tooth.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff, George. Did you write that down? You got that? So how long does it take per tooth to do this? I mean, obviously, if you're doing the 6 in the front, do you do all of them at the same time?
No, I do 2 by 2.
2 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow. So you do 2 at a time. Do you? Okay. It's a long process.
But once a time. If I want to put the 2 on the front, I need to protect the neighbor tooth.
The neighbor tooth. Okay.
Yeah.
So you isolate it, right?
Yes.
With a little dam, a plastic dam, and then so you do the 2, and then you do the other 2,
Yeah.
and then you do the other 2. Okay. Wow. Okay. Because a lot of times patients even ask, well, it's a veneer. Wouldn't it be cheaper than a crown? And it's a lot longer process than a crown. And not a lot of doctors do veneers.
No.
Because it takes a long time. You got to be very particular and really a perfectionist.
And very delicate to do the preps.
Very
we need
delicate.
to polish the preps. So we need to do a lot.
This past week, we were talking about mockups.
Yeah.
And you told me that the best thing for our patients and for us is to do a mock-up before they get the final work. Why is that?
Because with the mock-up, they can choose the design, and I can protect my work. So I like to do the mock-up.
What do you mean by protect your work?
So if the patient say like, oh no, I don't like this, or I don't like something, I show the mock-up before, and he can do any adjust over the mock-up.
Because if you didn't do the mock-up and they brought you the final work, you wouldn't be able to do any more adjustments.
Yeah.
You said if you bring it down a little bit, you could fracture it.
Yes.
Because it's very thin.
It's very thin.
Okay. So if you're not able to get veneers, Emax veneers, because you're not a candidate, would I be able to do Emax crowns?
Sure.
So what's the big difference between an Emax crown and a zirconia crown?
Well, I love the Emax.
Okay.
It's more cosmetic. It's the zirconia, it's more heavy and it's stronger too, but the Emax, it's really aesthetic. It's very light. Even you can notice the difference between a natural tooth and an Emax crown.
So let's say if I wanted to get a full mouth restoration, you think Emax is the best?
Yes.
Does it look more like so I can get them very white if I wanted to? I can get them white, right?
Sure.
But it looks more natural. But they're not as strong as zirconia.
No.
But if it's done correct, is there still a difference in cementing?
Yeah.
An Emax crown?
I use the same process with the veneers crown, with the veneers.
Why is that?
For the material.
So the material, because you told me that zirconia crown you could cut off, but a Emax crown, it's even hard to cut off.
Yeah.
You have to.
I need to shape all the crown around.
You can't just cut it off?
No, sometimes they came off, but in little pieces. So.
That's because it's so bonded into the tooth itself?
Yes.
So if you were to get crowns tomorrow, You would get Emax
My
crowns.
crowns. Yeah, sure.
You get Emax crown. Okay. So anybody who's out there, zirconia crowns versus metal porcelain.
Yeah.
What do you think is better, zirconia or metal porcelain?
Zirconium.
Zirconia looks very nice.
For sure, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with zirconia. Zirconia looks beautiful. But when you put zirconia next to Emax?
Emax.
Okay. Yeah, Emax is, you think it's the closest prosthesis to a natural tooth?
Yeah.
It's the closest you can get.
It's the top list. It's the top in the dentistry.
It's the top in the dentistry. And that's why it's a little bit more expensive.
Yes.
But yet you're getting the best of the best. Yeah, because we've had many full mouth restorations with Emax. And it looks incredible. I mean, it looks amazing with zirconias, but Emax is just, it's just in another level. It's just completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, for those patients that are out there that talk a lot about, well, you know, I can get a veneer for $500 in the United States. Have you ever heard of that? Because our agents get that all the time, $600 in the United States. We done our research, guys. Veneers go from the cheapest place that we found, I believe it was $800 to $900, and it was, I don't even know what state it was, but it goes up to, if I'm not mistaken, $1,600 up to $1,800 each. Some places in New York up to $2,000.
Yeah, maybe for $600 in the US it's just for a simple fill-in.
Yeah, or maybe it's a composite.
Yeah, maybe it's a composite.
Because we see a lot, like remember we were going through Instagram and we seen a very famous doctor from Colombia. I'm not gonna mention his name, and I told you a lot of people go to this doctor for veneers.
Yeah, I remember.
And you looked at it and you're like, I don't like these veneers because they were just like this.
Yeah.
They didn't have no translucency.
No form, no anatomy.
It was just kind of like squared and white like this. Now tell me, with Emax veneers or crowns, can you have translucency? Does it have more translucency than zirconia?
Mm-hmm.
So it has more translucency.
Yeah, you can see the line. You can see a little difference with the color. We can play with the colors.
One thing that freaked me out is when you have a zirconia crown over your tooth, and I take, or a metal porcelain, and I take an X-ray, it shows white.
Yes. But
when you have an Emax,
you can see the tooth inside.
You can see the tooth inside.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot see. It doesn't look white anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that I was like, whoa! I didn't know that. That was pretty cool actually. So we talked about veneers. We talked about Emax. There's going to be new technology coming to Supreme because we believe we've always been very innovative. I don't know if you know this, but you heard about the Zerpeak, right? The Zerpeak, the all-on-4, all-on-6.
Yeah.
It was like 2-3 years ago. We were talking to one of the labs that we work with, Angeles. And we were telling them, you know what, man, there's zirconia. And zirconia back in the day was very heavy because it was a different type of design, the way that they did it. Everything was thicker. Everything has came a very long way. In 3 years, technology has really, really changed. But back in the day, it was very heavy and thick, and it was acrylic with metal. And I was like, there's got to be something else, man. There's got to be something else. And he's like, look, man, there's this, and it's called a Zerpeak, but let me look into it. And then he told me, I don't have this, and this, and we invested to be able to get that thing in. And we were the first ones in Algodones to sell Zerpeak. And that was like 3-4 years ago or something like that. We work with different agencies. We work with agencies that are number one in the world. And we're number one in their company. And we told them about the Zerpeak. And nobody in their whole company had the Zerpeak. Nobody. And they were like, oh, Frank, is this going to work? And I'm like, well, it's tested. I'm not making it up. You know, I didn't make it in my garage. I wish I would have, but it didn't work out that way. And it worked, and it sold. And it sold, and it sold, and it sold. And now everybody here in Los Algodones does Zerpeak. And in Cancun, they started doing Zerpeak, and they looked ugly in the beginning, but they're getting better at it. So now we want to lead. All-on-4, all-on-6 is obviously, guys, we know that is everybody that comes in. A lot of our patients all-on-4, all-on-6s. And a lot of patients come in thinking they need all-on-4, all-on-6s, and then we save them with the full mouth restoration. But we want to pave the way here in Algodones to something different. We want to pave the way to veneers, because if veneers are done right with the correct technology, they could be in your mouth for a very long time. But you still got to take care of them. There's still things you cannot do. But also, there's Emax crowns. So we talked about different technology. We're working on different trainings. You're looking into different trainings.
Yeah.
This week, you did 2 full mouths or 2 patients with veneers, correct? Patient from Vegas and a patient from, do you know where the other patient's from?
Dakota.
South Dakota, North Dakota, I'm not sure, and they look beautiful. They look amazing. They love them. But one of them had a mock-up and the other one didn't. The one that had the mock-up, everything went by smoother, correct? Mm-hmm. And the one that didn't, there was a couple pieces that you had to change, correct? Yes. So we advise you guys, when you guys come down to Mexico or anywhere you guys decide to go to, guys, just get the mock-up. The mock-up will maybe take you one more day, but it's going to be worth it, because you don't want to go back home wishing that your tooth were a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. You know, it's something that you guys already investing. Just invest a little bit more. Get that mock-up. Give us the time to work. You know, they're not crowns. It can't be done a full mouth in 3 days. Maybe it takes 5 days. Maybe it takes 6. But it's going to be beautiful. It's less aggressive on your mouth. And if it's right and you qualify for it, that's the best option. Emax crowns, they look amazing also. And, well, more than anything, we want to thank you. You've been here with Supreme. How many years have you been here with Supreme already?
2 years.
2 or 3 years?
2 years.
2 years. You've been here 2 years. And when you came here to Supreme, you have evolved completely in the way that you are with patients, the way that aesthetically there's been times when patients come in with our top doctors, mm-hmm. and they say, I want this, and they're like, oh no, you're for Dulce.
Yeah.
Because they know that for aesthetically, for certain things, you're gonna be the best. And that's the way our team works. Somebody comes for implants, you're just like, someone else. And someone else said, look, I'm looking for veneers. Dr. Dulce. So we are investing just in everything else, guys. We have our own lab. We still work with labs on the outside that do amazing jobs also. We're taking care of dividing everything equally to be, not equally, but making it be divided so it makes the most sense for you guys, that you guys get the best time, the best product, and the most efficiently out of everything, to be efficient completely. Dr. Dulce is looking at different courses. She's taken some courses already for aesthetic, and we're very happy that you've taken this next step, and you're gonna be flying out just like the rest of the team that's flying out everywhere. So thank you so much for being here today. Is there anything else you want to tell the patients out there that are looking for veneers? Anything else you want to let our patients know before we leave?
Okay. Please, when you come to the office, try to spend an extra day. Okay. Try to do the mock-up design. With the mock-up design, you can see on your mold how the veneers or the crown they're going to look.
Is there anybody else you want to say hi to?
To Brandon. We changed. We get a new spine with him. And
with Brandon?
Yeah.
Is he one of the patients that's here right now?
Yeah. No, he came the last.
Oh yeah, last week.
Brandon Richards.
Yeah, Brandon. Yeah, that was an amazing change actually. And we could, if we want to go ahead and put that before and after, we got the before, and then we got the after. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't just the smile that changed.
Yeah, he's very happy.
Yeah, it was. You changed the person right there. He was so happy.
He got Emax crowns.
He got Emax crowns. Mm-hmm. That is correct. And you know what? Also, people that have some mobility, you recommend Emax crowns, but very low mobility. Mm-hmm. You call it like, what is it? You call it
grade 1.
Grade 1 mobility. The best thing to do is get Emax crowns because you can still change your smile.
Yes.
But it's something that's very light. So it just works out perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here today, Dr. Dulce. See, you didn't cry or nothing happened. You did it. You did the podcast. She's been not wanting to come in the pod every time. Like, she was hiding. We were waiting for her, and she was like right there. You could barely see her. She was hiding like, I don't want to. But it wasn't that bad. You will be seeing a lot more of Dr. Dulce. There's a lot of questions. And as we go around, there's going to be a lot more process of the veneers and all that good stuff that we want you guys to see. Because there's nothing better than being informed. There's nothing better than being educated. Don't let just someone tell you can get it and then you regret it for the rest of your life. So this has been Supreme Dental Podcast Studio, powered by Supreme Dental. And just like Brandon, keep on smiling.
Thank you.